Hello everyone, welcome to match 2 of our Pauper League with Stompy. We are 0-1 so far, so the 5-0 dream is unfortunately dead for us. Lost to a really weird Goblin Wizardry deck that I've come across once before. Okay. What does this hand do? So, Quirion Ranger, play the Ledgewalker, play Rancor, swing in and hope for the best. If we then get a second land, maybe we can get Elephant Guy down. We don't know what our opponent's on here, but we are unfortunately on the draw, so we'll keep this. We'll see how we get on with this. Okay, our opponent is Windsguard Crag, so our opponent's Boros, presumably? Okay. Probably our Quirion Ranger is about to meet an untimely end, so I think really we wish we might have mulliganed down here. If they don't bolt our Ranger, then we might be okay. If they just go turn to land Prophetic Prism, we might be okay. For some reason again, Magic Online not loading our opponent's artwork. That's kind of annoying. But it's loading ours, so we know what our cards look like. Okay, opponent taps for red. Electrickery. Okay. That's not good for us, because we have a bunch of 2-mana cards. Boros Garrison. Yeah, that might be the end of our game. Whew, okay, we really wish we hadn't kept this hand down. Okay. I mean, obviously, knowing what we know now, we probably wouldn't have kept it, but against an unknown opponent, I guess, hoping they didn't have turn 1 removal was reasonable. Okay, well, at least they've played an Electrickery, so if we can get a Ledgewalker down, they're like one less card that can actually deal with it. Okay, Faithless Looting from our opponent. Hopefully they get slowed down a little bit here. Unfortunately, we know they're making land drop for this turn, because we know they have a Windsguard Crag in their hand. There it is. Our opponent, ditched the Strands, ditched another looting. Okay, so just all the value for our opponent, and presumably there'll be a Glinthawk or something in our future. No Glinthawks in our future, okay. Hey, there we go. Forest. Play a Ledgewalker. It's kind of unfortunate because our opponent will probably have a lot of flying creatures, so the fact that it can only be blocked by creatures with flying probably isn't terribly relevant. Another Crag for our opponent. Okay. Riverboa. Okay, well I don't really want to play that into open red manas. If we get a third land, I'll be pretty happy to run out Riverboa as a blocker, but I think for now we Rancor up our Ledgewalker. Unfortunately, I think we're suitably behind now where we're going to struggle with this. When we lost a lot of tempo not having that second land. Our opponent has probably no idea how impactful getting rid of that Ranger it was for us. Our Quirion Ranger, that is. We're going to get him for 5. We have a 5-1 they can't currently block. They're going to play, presumably, Battle Screech here. And end that as a strategy. Yeah, there we go. And they do have... Well, they're going to be able to flash it back. And they are also going to be able to cast Prismatic Strands whenever they want to. Boros Garrison to get back a Windsguard Crag. Lifelink for their Seeker. So they're going up above 20 life again now. So we're gonna really struggle here to affect any kind of meaningful attack. Okay, so they are flashing back their Battle Screech this turn rather than attacking in. I mean, if we can hit a third land and run an Elephant Guide out, maybe we have a chance here. Okay, well we'll do that. Elephant Guide. Get an 8-4. Okay. So basically we're on the Bogles plan now. I tricked you all into clicking onto a Stompy video when really I'm playing Bogles. Okay, what's this from our opponent? Ooh, okay, rally the peasants. That's not at all good for us. Are we just dead here? 12, 17, not quite, unless they have another one or they can flash it back. Okay. And we are just dead here, okay. There we go. Simple math tells us 17 plus 3 plus prowess is dead for us. Okay, so on to sideboarding. We are not doing well in this league so far. Okay. So for this, we want probably longbow, probably relic, probably young wolf. I don't think... So this is the Boros Bully version of it, where they just play a ton of tokens and they worry less about the artifact synergy. So Gleeful Sabotage isn't probably going to be good enough. I'm going to get rid of all of these Vault Scourges and probably one Rancor just because, again, it's a 2-for-1 magnet. Again, kind of a high variance card. It's good in the matches where your opponent can't meaningfully interact with it, but when they can, it is painful more often than not. Okay, one time no mulligan. So this is a very interesting hand. Generally with Stompy I'd throw back anything with 4 lands. Yeah. I think the fact that it's functional is probably enough here. We're going to keep this on the basis that we have a Pit Skulk, so unless they can get out an early Seeker of the Way, we should just be able to get underneath them. Our opponent's on the mulligan as well, so that is potentially quite good for us. So, let's go. Nettle Sentinel. Hope they don't have a turn 1 bolt. Love to see a Windscarred Crack from our opponent. Oh, there's a mountain. There's a bolt. Flame Slash. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, Nest Invader. Let's try Nest Invader. See if this lives. Oh. I don't know if maybe I've made a bad decision in keeping this hand as well. I think normally this... Okay, Squadron Hawk, not the worst thing in the world for us. I think normally this deck is reasonably easy in terms of hand selection, mulligan choices. We've had a couple of really iffy ones so far, which really hasn't helped our cause. Okay, so our opponent's now up to 7 cards in hand, 3 of which are Squadron Hawks, so we'll keep an eye on that. So I think what we want to do here is get in with our Nest Invader. It will probably not block us. We're going to get our Pit Skulk. Really the only way we're going to win this is to win early. So with that in mind, we are going to get down Elephant Guide. Our opponent now can't block our Pit Skulk. They should have trouble actively removing it as well. It's probably going to take 2 removal spells to kill it, and then even then we get a token out of it. The only thing really they could have is Journey to Nowhere, which probably they'll have in hand now in fairness, but... Or maybe they've brought in Artifact and Enchantment Removal. Maybe they brought in Leave No Trace. 3-bit Inspector from our opponent, okay. Okay, so Rancor onto our Pit Skulk. Got our opponent on a 3-turn clock now. I'm going to play out our Aquarian Ranger here, just so that we have some ability to play defense as well. We're probably not ever going to block with our Pit Skulk, just because if we take 1 or 2 damage, then suddenly it's in range of Flame Slash and Galvanic Blast and things of that nature. But just having it down as a threat may be enough to save us here. Okay, Faithless Looting from our opponent, so presumably our opponent's digging as far into their deck as they can, trying to find an answer for our Pit Skulk. Okay, Battle Screech. I'm not going to be able to cast that this turn. Standard Bearer. Okay, that's also not going to get it done for our opponent. Battle Screech. I mean, if they have Rally the Peasants, then we are just probably still dead. They do have Prismatic Strands in their bin as well, so that's at least 1 turn when we can't be attacking. And we are drawing nothing but land as well, which is great for us. There's no point attacking with our Nest Invader, because presumably they are just going to flash back their Prismatic Strands. Maybe they'll do it next turn. Interesting. Okay, so down to 5. Well, I wouldn't get for a fling right now. Okay, so Journey to Nowhere. There it is. Okay, so they finally found the answer they wanted, so well, we got pretty close, but I think again that's probably us done with. Biggest thing with that is it just turns off our Elephant Guide as well. We do get our Rancor back. Hooray. We can't cast our Rancor now because they have Standard Bearer. So I think unfortunately we're just kind of done here. I think this is going to be another painful league like our Affinity one was before it. I don't think we played badly here. I think we've played the right kind of game. But again, this just isn't, unfortunately, a very good matchup for Stompy. It's another deck like Wizardry is that can just draw more cards than us and 1-for-1 us effectively. And just plays quite a large breadth of different styles of answer for what we're trying to do. Is there any way back into this matchup for us? Probably not. Yeah. Yep, I think at that point there's really not... I'm trying to think of a card in our deck that we can play that will actually get us back into this game, but they've got Prismatic Strands in the bin, Looting in the bin to draw more cards, tons of Hawks in hand. Yeah, I'm going to scoop it up here. I don't think we're going to come back from this, so... Well, another rather painful lesson in why Stompy is a good deck, but definitely has its bad matchups. Well, we'll go on to game 3 and hope that we end up with a better matchup, but that's how it goes sometimes.